Surprisingly, mood swings, anxiety, depression, or impaired cognitive functioning like short term memory or attention span uh, have very much to do with the diet we follow when we enter into menopause and perimenopause phases. Research shows that these symptoms seem to go away when women switch to a diet which have more balances in blood sugars and help hormone levels. Hi, I'm Geeta Mikhalineni, a social entrepreneur who is working on women's health and menopause. Welcome to my YouTube series. Now we are in series 2, episode 2 on how to manage these mood swings and regulate our health and weight by making small dietary corrections using the help of carbs. Before I deep dive into this topic, let me thank you all for the immense support and the fabulous encouragement you've been giving through views and subscriptions. I really like the way you'll share your views and comments and messages, asking for more information. In fact, this is kind of helping me to do more and more into my strategic questions and come out with newer tubes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have often heard conversations amongst people, you'll have to stop eating rice or raat ko roti mat khana hai if you're planning to lose weight. What are your views? Are these suggestions right? I would want you all to use the comments box to talk about and share your views. Should we stop eating rice and rotis if you have to regulate weight and balance our blood sugar levels? Let me tell you, fats, which are not sugars, are the body's primary fuel source, and carbohydrates, which are also responsible for generating glucose, are also a very good source of energy to our body. And we need this energy to manage our day-to-day activities. But contrary to the famous belief that a bowl of rice, the notorious bowl of rice or rotis, are vilified, they act as a major villain in any of the dietary plans which are shared. It is not so, my friends. It is not so. When you come across, when I talk about nutrients, macronutrients like fats and proteins, carbohydrates are excellent source for many macronutrients. Our fibers, our starch, and then sugars, which we obtain from the grains, legumes, millets, cereals or lentils, also vegetables also play a major role in regulating our body weight, regulating our blood sugars, and also enable us to help in taking care of our mood swings or all those kind of symptoms which we noticed in the beginning. Yes, I'm going a little technical here. Let's switch on to the mind map to understand more about carbs. What are those traditional carbs or complex simple carbs, and what combination should we have to stay away from weight gain? Can we move on to the mind map? Thank you. Hi and welcome to the mind map, where we're going to discuss in detail how carbs help us in managing our weight, as well as due to carbs, how can we balance our blood sugar levels, our cravings, our mood swings, and let's see how we can connect diet with the very specific symptoms of perimenopause and menopause. Well, we discussed about what carbs are all about, one of the major macronutrients like that of fats and protein, which are very essential and crucial for the energy which the body needs to manage the day-to-day activities. Now, what is the relationship between carbohydrates and blood sugars? The kind of carbs you pick up during your diet are directly proportional to the blood sugar levels, which fluctuate. A combination of a good carbs with proteins helps to balance this blood sugar levels. the blood sugar levels are constant and balanced, then automatically your cravings to have better food, cravings to have more sugary food is also not there. Sometimes you have seen immediate after a meal, you want to pick up a sweet or a dessert. So that shows that, or I'm very hungry immediately after a good meal. That means the food is not well balanced. It's either purely just simple carbohydrates which are easily digestible, making you long for food again. There are two types of carbohydrates, simple and complex. Simple are those carbs which are easily, quickly digestible, and complex carbs are those carbs which take time to digest. The processing is much difficult, takes more time, and releases energy into the body very slowly and keeps you satiated and full for a longer period of time. Now, how can we bring in these complex carbs into our diet so that our blood sugar levels are regularized? Well, we have a combination of unprocessed carbs. There is a connection between complex carbs and unprocessed carbs. Please understand, unprocessed carbs are those which are wholesome, which are full grains. Now we have four types of carbs. You get carbs from these four major sources. See, you get carbs from various foods. You get carbs from your vegetables, your other legumes, whatever we're going to discuss right now. But the primary source, because for you to get those carbs, the item must have starch, which releases glucose into the body, and that's how the energy is developed. Now, we have millets, and this is my favorite, so let me pick up first the millets and cereals. Cereals are your rice, your wheat, oats, maize, all these come under cereals, and millets are now the newfound trend and craze. You see people going in for these kind of foods. You see a lot of Facebook groups which are talking about millets, how can they be incorporated into the food. Millets, on the other hand, are your jowar, your ragi, your bajra, foxtail. You have pearl millets, you have foxtail millets, amaranth, your rajgira. All these come under the millet family. Whenever these you eat anything, it can be rice, your rotis, your oats, or maize. Any of these foods, if you are eating in a wholesome manner, the digestion is happening in a very phased manner and releases in the way the body needs. The moment you switch to a processed format, when I tell processed format, is refined format, which is ground into flour, which is polished. In other words, to give you a clue, where the cooking process is much faster, those kind of carbs are called processed carbs, and you should be telling a big no and not bring them into your food plate. You're talking about, for example, I'll give you a small clue. You tell wholesome wheat. When I say wholesome wheat, when you strain the powder, the wheat flour, you should see the husk there. If there is no husk and everything gets drained, that means it is a very finely processed wheat flour. Finely processed wheat flour loses all its nutrients, from starch to protein to carbs, and you're just eating the fine, refined processed. Talking about oats, there is a misconception that oats over the counter or over the shelf are the best ones for breakfast. But how much of time are you taking to cook them? Oats, like steel cut oats, is like your foxtail or ragi, needs a lot of time to cook. But if you're able to cook in a minute or two, then it is a highly processed item. So bring in those changes into your food plate. Similarly, legumes and pulses. Your beans, your chickpeas, the dried beans, all these come under pulses. Please bring them into your food plate. The ones which are split, The dal which is split, your moong, your black dal, or your chana dal, all these are lentils which are very good. When you combine these with your cereals and millets, it gives an awesome combination of nutrient value. It's an excellent combination. So, but if you're having your rice and rotis, which is unprocessed, wholesome, with these legumes and pulses, it is going to beautifully balance your blood sugar levels. Your craving for more food is taken care of. Bring in your protein with this. It is fantastic. We're now concentrating on carbs. So I'm talking about only these two things. Your groundnuts, your peanuts are good. Your soy is very good. Please add them more into your plate. We're looking at a hand as a measure. Your palm should be your carbs. So don't shy away by having your rice and rotis and dals. The only thing is the way you bring that rice into the system, whether it is red rice, brown rice, boiled rice, your wheat is of the many kinds of wheat, your sorghum, your kapli, your regular wheat, your durum wheat, all these are good. But only thing is in an unprocessed manner. Nowadays, people enjoy jawar. In some sections of the states, there is a lot of jawar roti. Please use them. For more information on how to bring this changes in your diet, get the mood swings in place, get your anxiety in place by making small changes to your diet plan, is going to help in a big way, ladies. Trust me, it's going to bring in a big way in managing your menopausal symptoms. I would want you all to attend my webinar, free webinar, get in more information and join this community of Queen's Accelerated Health Program. Thank you.